Hello viewers, I'm SB and this is Railroad Ink Challenge. This is the digital version of a very chill roll and write board game about trains. And it's also, as you can tell here, the vibes. The vibes are pretty chill, except for the part where I'm no good at it, which I do find frustrating. That reduces the chill factor a little bit. Maybe you'll be good at it. Maybe you'll feel better about it. This game is $8 on Steam right now. I think it's very much worth that $8. So let me show you what it is. Sort of the core offering here is this Railroad Ink Challenge solo mode. There is a way to sort of play this with other players, and I'll show you that in a moment. The game also has something that I think is a little closer to the base rules of the actual physical board game. I have never played this one, so I don't know that. I don't know for sure that that's what's happening here. And then they have these forest and desert expansions that the developer says are coming very soon. I don't know if these are just aesthetic differences or if there are special rules for these boards. Again, I'm not familiar with Railroad Ink, the physical board game, at all. But I think just this sort of like this base mode for $8, I think this is a pretty good deal. So here's what it is. Here's what the game really is. This is a roll and write, which is a genre of board game that has gained a lot of popularity over the last couple of years, which, as you might imagine, involves rolling some dice and then doing some writing. This is more of a roll and draw, I guess. But the idea is at the beginning of every turn, we're going to roll 4 dice. They're going to show us some routes, some combination of railroad and highway, and they may have stations on them, which are these little black squares that may connect railroad to highway potentially. Each turn, we must draw the 4 rolled routes onto the map. In addition, each turn we can use one of our specials here. Each special can only be used once. We can only use 1 per turn, and we can only use a total of 3 over the course of the game. And doing this, drawing all this stuff on the map, we're trying to just score a bunch of points. Like I said, the name of the mode is Score Attack. It's just about getting points. Before the end of the 7th turn. So there's a lot of ways to score points. We have these 3 objectives here, you can see. Each one of them is linked to a turn. If we complete the objective before the end of its indicated turn, then we get 4 points. Otherwise, if we complete it later, we get 1 point for it. And the other sources of points here, here we go. We will also be scoring for networks, that is groups of exits, these things that are already drawn around the edge of the map that have been connected to each other. You get a point for drawing in each of the central spaces. You get 1 point per road on your longest uninterrupted line of highways. You get 1 point per railway on your longest uninterrupted line of railway routes. You get 2 points for each village, that's these little tiles with the blue house on them, that has a station put on top of it. And then, of course, your goals are worth something. And, crucially, at the end of the game, each route that you draw that's just like running off into the middle of nowhere or that runs into a hard wall of another tile or something is worth -1 point. So you have to be very careful how you place things. You want to make this as graceful and flowing as possible. So What are our actual objectives here? I just blew right past it without actually reading them. Okay, so by the end of turn 3, we need to have a full row or column filled in. By the end of turn 4, we need to have a full 3x3 area filled in. It doesn't have to be the middle part. It can be any 3x3 region on the board. And by the end of turn 5, we have to have 2 exits on opposite sides of the board connected to each other. This one doesn't seem so bad to me. I don't know if you saw, as we sort of blazed past the scoreboards for the daily challenge and stuff, it seems like good players are able to score in like the high 80s and the 90s. I have never done that. I've never gotten that high. I am not great at this game. So let's work toward filling up a row or a column. Okay, one thing that jumps out at me immediately is that we have a very easy station on a village here for some points, and that creates a little bit of distance on this row. I am not wild about this tile here. I've never really been good at using this two separate routes thing. Maybe what we could do instead, if you just double click this, it undoes everything you've done for that turn. If we do it more like this, my big concern with this is that, like, I'm worried that it's going to be very difficult to connect this exit to anything because we've made this dead end. So we've really reduced the number of different die faces that are good here. We can connect this like that, and there is a face that will fit here. There is a thing we could roll, or we could solve this problem with one of our specials. But obviously, these are like a pretty high value resource. But I mean, this sets up, you know, a row and a column that we're kind of working on. Maybe we can make something happen here. So what if we draw up? Yeah, we just try to fill in the space here. Let's call that a first turn. There's a lot of speculative stuff going on here, but we're trying to create a situation where we might reasonably be able to roll things that we're happy with. So, like, this isn't too bad. This gives us a road over a tunnel that a railway can run through. At some point here, we're going to have to solve the problem that we have a railroad running toward an actual road. But I suppose this is not a bad solution to that problem. Like, if we just put this here with the intention of eventually making a connection happen there, like, right, that gets us a whole column. We have roads running toward roads here. This is feeding us out into the central area for those points. This shape in the corner is a little strange, but this gets the job done. And we have an area where we're like 4 of 9 on the 3x3, so we can start working on that. I don't hate this. So I should talk about the other buildings on the board. Of course, there are 4 tiles, 1, 2, 3, and 4, with those villages that we just want to build stations on top of. There are also these factory tiles. If we build something on top of a factory, we get to create an extra copy of one of our rolled faces that turn. And the orange university doesn't do anything by itself, but if we build over top of 3 university tiles, you can see they fill in here, and they let us make a 4th selection from the specials area. So I think for right now, yeah, I think I'm pretty comfortable with this. I guess using this as a 3x3 is going to be weird, because even if we get the corner tile that's going to make this work, this is really ugly. It's sort of a weird dead end. Let's go ahead and commit this. See what we roll for next turn, and we're going to have to probably start spending specials here to find our way out of situations that I have put us into. So it is looking decreasingly likely that we're going to find the thing that we want there. How do we want to work this? Well, we can get a factory tile pretty easily this turn. We could do this here. Gets us another station village, and then maybe like this is our 3x3, or like maybe these 2 are part of the 3x3. Like building it here or here or here all seems sensible. I mean, obviously, like building it in the area where you score more points for everything, probably reasonably smart. What if we start working for that? Because it's turn 3 right now. We have until the end of turn 4 to secure our points. So actually, let's put this here. We'll put down this thing with the tunnel underneath it here. And that's 7 of a 9 right there. Yeah, I think that's okay. We're going to want to connect this here. We're going to want to do something about that. Do I want to maybe make that a priority? Because we could build one of these tiles over top of this. Like, what if we pick these 2 up? Put this right here. And then we use the factory to create an extra copy of that to put here. Or actually, we could just put it there. We have one more turn to get all this figured out. What I like about this one is it starts connecting our exits together, because we are going to need we are going to need to do some of that. Actually, yeah, this is cool because it means if we get the tile that connects these two together, we've finished objective 5, because that'll mean this exit connects to this exit. So actually, I like this quite a bit. And then we end up putting this somewhere else. Then we put this in a place where, like maybe here, we can build a rail line through and take advantage of these tiles. Now you can see there's a score counter in the upper corner here. We had 12 points at the start of this turn. The way we're playing right now, we'll gain another 10 points, but we currently have 11 points of just like routes that are running out into the middle of nowhere, which is dangerous. It's a risky thing. But I don't really think we have a good play for this. Yeah, we're opening up a bunch of stuff over here, but like, we do have to play the tile. If I had the option of simply not playing that face, I would absolutely have taken it. Okay, so like, that's great, right? These 3 exits are connected. That's beautiful. We have until the end of this turn to figure out our 3x3. So, how do we want to do that? If we just drop this special right here, it gets us a lot of the way. Right, because we can do like this. But that's still only 7. Yeah, definitely not good enough. Hold on. Okay. Pick it all back up. So, we have to... We can't ever put a tile here, the way I built this, which is actually a huge problem. Great work, me. Yeah, we have to work with, like, these 5 tiles. We basically have to build, like, up here or down here and then out in this column to get this done this turn. Because we have to play... That means we have to play 4 tiles into this 3x3 shape, and we only get to play up to 5 tiles in total. So, how are we going to use enough of them in the same place? We build like this and that. No, see, I'm already not doing the thing I was talking about. Hold on. We put this here. Put this here. We move this up to here. We build that there. See, if I put this here, that gets us a 3x3. It also gets us a really awkward shape. The core problem is this. What if we built here instead? Okay, hold on. What if we used our special to solve this problem? We go like... We want this here. We connect a road to there. We probably want rail coming out that side, right? So something more like that. The issue with that is that it leaves us a very awkward... Yeah, I can't actually lay these tiles out in a way that that connects anything to here. We have 2 tiles left, and none of them can go in the one space that we need. Okay, so we have to use a special in the middle here that has a railway coming off of it on one side. We have to use this cap there. But the problem is that the fourth direction coming off of the special tile is not usable, is not within the 3x3 no matter how we do this, because the railway is going on the corner of the 3x3. If I... Okay, let's pull this up, put this down. What if we just use all of our tiles around this thing? We'll turn a spot where there were 4 tiles into our new 3x3. I like this a little bit less. It does get us a functional 3x3. The biggest problem here is that we, first of all, blocked off right before... we blocked off the railway line running out here right before we could station on that village, so we're going to have to get another station coming off of this rail line. And secondly, we've just got created all this openness. But an upside here is we're building through the middle very effectively, so yeah, I think that's accomplished our goal. It's getting us where we're going. Now you'll notice our longest traceable highway route is looking pretty good, right? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and easily extensible. At the moment, our longest railway route is 3 tiles, and it's closed. It can't be added to. So we may want to deal with that. So we're having kind of a problem there. This feels pretty bad because we don't really want a road running down here. We want rail running that way. I guess this isn't too bad, though. We can station here. We got the road to make our cross-map connection still work, which I'm very pleased about. And then, honestly, yeah, we could just connect right there, and now we have this. Actually, what we want to do here is place this on top of the factory, and then also get that. And with you, so what we might do here is employ this special tile. That's our second special. This gives us these 2 exits connected, and then via the station, the ability to connect this out potentially into the rest of the rail network. If you remember the chart, we definitely want to connect as many things as we can. Effectively, every exit that is connected to a network is worth 4 points, except for the first. So for each network you have, you're going to have that one exit that is basically not scoring you any points. So you really want to minimize the number of total networks you have. We might be able to connect all this stuff through. Let's give it a shot. It's turn 6. We still have a couple of special plays. We have the one normal special play, then one if we can get our purple stuff together, which it looks like, or our orange stuff together, which it looks like we are going to be able to do. So, because we can do this. It connects that out to this thing as a whole. Unfortunately, we just drew very few road tiles this turn, so we kind of can't do a lot of work with the road part of our network. And it's all of it is the road part of the network is the thing. I don't want to close this off, but we could potentially close something off over here. Just put this down. This is effectively 2 points, right? Because it's closing up an exit hanging in the middle of nowhere that was worth -1. And then also it's a tile in the middle. And we really want to actually be able to make connections here. To the point that I might just go ahead and throw down a special for it. Because, we're desperate. This tile's quite bad for us at the moment. There is actually nowhere to put this where it doesn't create problems. But I guess right here... Okay, right here, it doesn't actually do anything bad. This opening was worth -1, so we just turned it into a collision, which is still worth the same -1. Routes going out into the end of the map do not cost you points. Presumably they just run off forever. And it gets us the orange building. The best case scenario here is something like this, where we turn the -1 into a 0 and get the orange building. But I think we're going to have an easier time using this for something. Although, given the situation on the board right now, maybe not. Well, okay, let's do this. This is the place where this tile does the least harm. And then the only place where we can build across an orange is here, huh? I feel like we need... I hate to do this, but I'm just going to build a non-station tile across this village because we have to put this somewhere, and this is the only place where it even potentially has value. I think we want to see our last set of rolls before we go committing our last specials to the board. Wow, that's very bad. Okay, so the fact that we rolled no road tiles at all 2 turns in a row definitely hurts us. But this is part of the skill of the game, right? Like, obviously there's a bunch of variance here, but I put myself into a position where a pretty large number of the faces on the die are not good for me, and that's poor management of the variance that I know is coming, right? I could just as easily have done a good job. So here's what I'm thinking. Like, we can kind of just, like, build across here. I don't think there's any way for me to actually connect this up to the rest of the, to the rest of the puzzle, though, which is a shame. But if we do this, and then we lay down a special tile right here to keep the connection running. No, that's not very good. I think that maybe it's just, maybe it's just this. That is a network that only connects 2 exits. It's very bad. That's effectively 2 points per exit, or a normal 4-point exit and a 0-point exit, however you want to look at it. But it's pretty not good. And then the easiest way to achieve a connection up here is to do something like this. Use this here to get the orange. And then... oh no, hold on. This is very bad indeed. What if am I allowed to put this down like that? I'm not. We can't actually. I was just going to use special tiles to build a road that is in an L shape here to connect that to that. But actually, we used a bunch of the L tiles, a bunch of the special tiles that have the right shapes of connectors on them. Well. If we do something like this, will it let me play? Yes, okay, it'll let me create just that dead end. So this works. And then we do like this, and it turns this back into that. It's not very good, but it does function. And then we have, like, we still want to make this connection, right? That still points. Sadly, we cannot make another connection here, but now we have these 5 exits all running together, which is pretty good. And then this thing, don't really have a compelling spot for this thing. Actually, I can do this. So the exits that are not used don't count against you, and an exit running into the side of the tile is not negative points. So this is, it turns a -1 off of the edge of this tile into a 0. That's a pretty bad score, in my opinion. It's a lot worse than I usually do. I'm going to blame it on I was teaching the rules of the game, but this is a good example, at least, of some of the things that can go wrong. So yeah, only 24 points for networks, not so good. We did build in 8 of the central spaces. We have a nice long maximum highway, but our longest railway ended up being kind of crummy. We got 3 of the 4 villages scoring. We did make all of our goals, but look at all the X's. 9 errors is pretty rough. So yeah, that's sort of the core idea there. If we pop out to the menu here, I can show you this challenge mode is how you would sort of play with your friends. You can set up a challenge, select your goals, select where in the turn order they go, and then you can invite your friends on Steam to play with you. Invite your friends via they have an account system here inside of this game, presumably cross-platform, presumably for cross-platform reasons. As you saw there's some you can swipe to end your turn, so I assume this is a mobile port, so maybe you can play with mobile users, and that's why they have their own system built in. But so yeah, you can challenge your friends who have the game to all play under the same conditions, and the board game itself is pretty close to a multiplayer solitaire. This is not exactly the same experience, but at least gives you some ability to play a comparable game and talk about the challenges of that particular set of objectives and stuff. I think that's cool. It's a neat thing. I don't know enough people who are nerdy enough about board games to actually have done that yet. But I hope at some point in the future. So let's just play one more. I'm just having a good time with the game. Yeah, people are getting 94s. That seems very high. Let's do one more, and this is the one where I show you how to do a good job, potentially. Maybe. We'll see. All right, so what our objectives here are a network that has 3 exits connected to it by the end of the 3rd turn, a full 3x3 area by the end of the 4th, and something in 3 of the 4 corner spaces by the 5th. 2 of the corner spaces have buildings in them, so that's not too hard. What do we want to do with this? I always feel a little compelled when I roll one of these dead end tiles on the first turn to use a special tile to hang that off of so that I'm not creating a dead route immediately, because in my limited experience and understanding here, it seems to me that getting a lot of exits connected to the same network is the primary number 1 most important scoring thing. So we could do something maybe it's this here. Hang this off of the end of that to get ourselves an objective, or to get ourselves a village. And then we can start building. I don't hate this. Start building out some of this stuff. We can just put down tiles in positions where we think they will be useful toward the goal of filling in the corners. Right, we could run a rail line like that and connect those fairly easily. I don't hate that. If we put this in the corner to get ourselves the extra factory tile immediately, this rail or this highway that would create just runs off into nowhere and doesn't connect to anything. Because remember, the railway in the tunnel is not connected to the road on this tile. So this is a pretty broad speculative play, but we're getting some stuff done. We're working toward a 3x3 area up here. Okay, I don't think that's too bad. So we probably want to use this tile here or here. If we put this here, there's a lot of there's a lot of ways that we can form meaningful connections off of that. But also we could just do it there and This way, there are two different tiles that play nicely here: the dead end rail tile, and then also the there's a rail into a station, and then a 90-degree corner off road that would play very nicely there. Yeah, I don't think that's bad. Not too excited to see another one of these. I think we barely needed the last one. If I do... Okay. I suppose one thing we could do here is like that. We're not moving very quickly toward any of our objectives by doing this, though. Which I do think is like a very real issue. Okay. What if, like this? So that's a pretty obvious place where we would want a tile like that. I think I still like this. We stick with that. And then you... I don't know what I do with you in that circumstance. This is not a great thing to have at the moment. Because we don't really want to do a railway becomes road here. We want this to be a railway because it's much easier to connect if it is. But yeah, this tile being straight sucks. It's very bad. This is very bad news. I guess we could do that. And then if we get like the 3-way roadway, we have a good connection here. But that's really... We're creating a situation where that's really the only tile that we're happy to see for this position. There is at least a special or a couple of specials that we could use to kind of fix that situation. Oof, it's ugly though. All right, I'm gonna commit it because we got to commit something, but I do not like that very much. Okay, we got some interesting things there. So I like this here an awful lot, probably for pretty obvious reasons. And if we do that, then sorry, let me use this for this purpose. Then we have this, which creates a thing with 3 connections. We can use the factory to copy this, run the roadway down here, and then we can keep connecting this network to everything else, hopefully. There's a lot of hope coming off of this plan still, but and then we really need to be thinking about the 3x3 because it's about to be that turn, and we have a situation up here in the corner where we have 5 tiles in a block, but we also do not have a way of adding more tiles to that block. Like it's all smooth edges here. So the downsides of this approach are numerous, is maybe a good way to put it. I can't really get 3 connections done by the end of turn 3 in any other way, though, I don't think, with what we've built already. So we can play at most... Okay, we have not played a special tile this turn yet. So how do we use that to start building up an area that we can maybe get this work done in? We could put down a... We could put down a special tile here. It could be like this one, maybe. Is that not... Wait, why does that not... Oh, because... Sorry, this one, I meant this one. And then if we put down this road tile coming straight out of that, then we have an area here where we only have to play 4 tiles next turn, and we have like pretty easy plays off of it. I think that's okay. I think that's how we're going to solve that problem. We're at 2 corners already for our third goal as well. All we have to do is play basically any rail tile here, and not only do we have it, but we get a university out of it. Like, I think that's an okay start. You'll notice we're -10. There are 10 openings, which I do not love, but one problem at a time. This was like a really, really good roll for the situation that we find ourselves in. Because if we do something like that, like there it is, right? It doesn't even require a special. It does put us in kind of a weird position where we're not really building out into the middle at all. But we could use a special to fix that. We could like put this here to just connect this up, drop a special tile there, so we're reaching out into the middle more effectively. Like that one, maybe? I think this is what we're gonna do. I think this is a reasonable 3x3. We have 6 exits connected to this already, and we could very well reach down for more. We're probably going to have to use a special tile to patch. I've created like a really awkward situation here, but I don't know that I can fix it without sort of undoing a lot of the other stuff that I like here. And one of the things that I do like about this is that we're closing up a lot of exits. We don't have that much open stuff. Are we really still on -10? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, there's 2. Okay, yeah, that is 10. Not great. Okay, I need just some kind of rail something to fill this corner. These will work. These are fine rolls. So my inclination, of course, is to do that. And then there's certainly a question of like how to approach this thing. I'm a little reluctant to build on either of the spaces until we know what's up a little bit, but I guess there's a pretty good chance that what we're going to end up doing is playing our orange tile here, which means I kind of have to build on this. And maybe we should just go ahead and do that now to get rid of the problem. I don't love that. My big concern there is just that so much of what the right play is for this tile is dependent on stuff, on rolls that we still haven't seen, right? So I really do want to just try to connect as many exits as I can here. Thinking if we do that, or some rotation of that, then we can also do this over here, and then the special that we lay down in this space, sorry, we don't lay a special down in that space. Well, we could. This could be the place where we put the special, because we could grab this as our, we could grab that as our third university. It's all very sketchy, though, because, like, this is probably how we want to do that, because we want to be able to station this thing. So then we would run like this, right? And we're like desperately reliant on... Yeah, that's not awesome. It's that or something that's the same on all sides. Well, it's probably this one. We get some connections here, and then like it's reasonable to think we could connect this or this into the A network, or maybe even both if we get lucky. We've used all the specials we're ever going to get, but we do still have 8 more die faces to just roll. And like, there's a universe where this stuff connects too. I don't know how likely that is given our actual situation here. But I'm going to choose to be hopeful Basically, this is not a real strategy. But you know, we're putting stuff in the middle. We are accomplishing our goals. Wow. Okay. Then I just top decked it, is what happened. So it feels like this is pretty good. Connects to that, doesn't create any additional openings. We have to wait for a station on this. This creates at least, you know, that's 4 points. We're not going to make this connection. It's just not going to happen. I'm just going to give up on it. I'm trying to figure out what I want to do with this tile, though. Like, this tile is extremely not good for us. If I put this here, we still get that connection, and then that potentially gives me the ability to, like, grab this thing. Gosh, I wish I had more specials left. You know? I do love this network, though. We're doing the Lord's work up here. As far as scoring points in a board game goes, you know. Listen, any Lord who does not is no Lord of mine, etc. I don't think that there's... I don't remember what all is on the die that has the station faces. It's like one of these, a version of this where there's a turn. This tile is one of them. There's a dead end railroad. There's a dead end road. So yeah, I don't think that this... I think I'm creating a situation here where I can't benefit. So I'm just going to play a tile in the middle where it's worth a point. Or we could play it here in the hopes of being able to use this in some kind of clever way. You know what? I'm going to do that. Maybe just threw away a point, but there's flexibility in the thing that we've done. Okay. Interesting. Can we use this to connect another exit to the big A network? Fairly sure the answer to that is no. Right? Because what would I have to... It would have to be like... This would have to reach for that. This would have to get to here, which we almost can do. If I did this, connect this here, that gives me an extra copy of... No, that doesn't do it. It does let me connect the road to this at great expense while creating a ton of extra openings. But that doesn't matter. That's just a road that's floating in the middle of nowhere. Well, right now we're looking at 55 points. We need to somehow construct something out of these points. This is a play that is worth some points. It's not actually worth more than just slamming this thing down here, though. Right, yeah, actually it's worth fewer points, because this is +3. It turns 2 -1s into a 0 and then adds 1. This is +2, and it ends this route, but it just creates another route that runs into the middle of nowhere. So... What else? What else can we do that is of value? I can't station that thing in any meaningful way. Oh, here's an interesting idea. What if I place this thusly, put you here, put you there, run this here, then we make an extra copy of that. Now we get 2 stations on... That's not bad. We get 2 stations on villages. We don't leave a lot of openings. We actually close off a couple of open paths. And we build through the center a bunch. That's like a mid-60s. That's not great, but I do think that this is probably where I'm going to go ahead and just cash in our chips, so to speak. I don't want to sit here and look at this and yammer at y'all too much longer. So I think, yeah, this is what we're going to call it. It's a shame that really does almost connect another exit, but this is fine. I'll take a 64. We at least had a pretty good network on that one. So 32 points total. I feel like that's better. 6 centrals, decent longest highway, pretty bad longest railway. I do find that I often get a little drawn into like shape considerations, and I forget to care about the length of the railway or the highway. Like, we got an okay longest highway here 100% by accident. Because I was not thinking about how we were connecting things at all. It's like we have this much rail and this much rail and this much rail, and if I had been thinking ahead a little bit more as we were building, we could have connected those better. But like this situation, which we built fairly early in the game, this is rough because this is a lot of your full game complement of useful rail that just dead ends and can't connect to anything else. So yeah, I'm confident that there's a lot of stuff to learn, a lot of skill to apply, and I am still in the pre-having done that phases of the thing. Anyway, that's Railroading Challenge. That's what that is. It is, again, $8 on Steam, and I think well worth it. I've been having a tremendous amount of fun. It's a very, very good game to play on one monitor while you're trying to watch something important on the other monitor and your ADHD is firing, so you can't focus on just one thing at a time. And that may sound like a very specific use case, but a whole bunch of people in the audience just went, ooh. So, yeah, that's going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this, and if you did, feel free to come back next time, tomorrow, for some more new stuff. And we'll see you then.